But I am thankful, Kim, that you joined me today so we can talk more and share more about what parents are facing in the workplace, because I just don't think enough people talk about it. And I feel like a lot of moms and new parents in the workplace are afraid to ask for what they need to be successful, when the reality is like we as HR people should be thinking about that ahead of time and trying to build a workplace where anyone can be successful.
Right. And we should be the voice of the people who are afraid or who are disempowered to use their own voice. Like, we have a position of relative power to use our voice to represent that. And for like a very super practical, tangible thing you can do is provide a list. Instead of just going to your parents and saying, what do you need? Give a list of options of like, here are some things that we've been thinking about. We don't know if they're all possible for our organization, but here's a starting off point. What from this list would be helpful to you? And is there stuff on this list that did we leave stuff off? Because to your point, a lot of working parents, especially working mothers, don't even know where to start in asking for what they need. Unless you've done like a lot of therapy or have a really motivational friend group, or have seen other examples, you don't know what to ask for, and you're scared to ask for it because there must be a reason they're not offering it. And if I ask for it, then I'm singling myself out as a needy employee, and I don't want to do that at a time when I'm already needy, because maybe I need to take time out of my workday to pump, or I need to leave early to pick my sick kid up at school. I already need so much. How can I ask for more? And so knowing that that's the default place that a lot of working moms are coming from, how can you as HR support them in having a voice? And I will call out, because it's September now. We're just, for a lot of people, just getting back to school, whether it was a couple weeks ago or this week or next week. But as we're thinking about Q3 and Q4 and thinking about your planning for the next fiscal year, remember that by January, February, parents are already starting to think about their summer childcare. So our kids have just gone back to school, and by the time we're into the new year and we're kicking off Q1 and getting all started, there's another part of our brain that's thinking about, what the hell am I going to do in June, July, and August? And that it happened so early was relatively new to me, because I've only had a kid in school that has summer break for 2 years now. But that was something I wasn't prepared for as a parent. And if I didn't have flexibility at work to make those calls to the summer camps, or to, frankly, to put a reminder on my calendar that at 10 a.m. I need to open the website for the summer camp we want to go to and sign up at 10 o'clock, because by 10:02 it'll be sold out, in February. Just knowing that parents are dealing with that on top of all of the other stuff they're dealing with is just it's just good to keep that perspective in mind, that it's not just about you ship your kids off to school, now you can commit yourself wholly to work. There's a whole slew of other things that may be just as time sensitive as your work deadlines.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing
the
from
summer
you,
camp debacle is there's a really great New York Times piece on the nonsense of trying to find care over the summer. But that's all.
I was never allowed to go to summer
better
camp.
than me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was never allowed to go to summer camp. My mom stayed at home with us, and I went to the public library. That's where I spent my summers.
Yep. And a lot of kids
my mom was not a working mom.
Yeah. And today, you hear stories. There's, again, like I said, there's articles about this that speak to it way more research than I, but there's a lot of kids whose parents work full time and who either don't have access to or can't afford summer care. And so the kids stay home by themselves and are told, go to the library, walk to the park. You're just going to be home by yourself all day, every day during the summer. And some of these kids are not really old enough to be doing that. And it's just,
there's
parents
so much
are really, really struggling. Yeah. This is a whole other topic, but what I tell HR people and what I will tell our listeners to think about here is that just remembering that at various times of the year, in the same way you're thinking about religious calendars, holiday calendars, your company diversity and inclusion holiday calendars, think about what parents are going through, just even relative to the school year, not even relative to holidays and travel and birthdays. And did I get a gift for that kid that we have to take to the party? And that just even looking at the academic school year calendar and how that lines up with your business calendar. Like, even if it's as basic as, hey, parents, are you going to need any extra support around back to school season? How can we help you in terms of finding summer childcare for your kids? Do you need time? Do you need resources? How can we help you? And companies do all kinds of things. There's a slew of femtech companies out there that are building apps and tools, and programs to support working parents. And if your company has the budget to work with a third-party provider to help parents, please fucking do it. Do that before you do dry cleaning service or gym memberships. Please do this. Yeah. And if you don't, at least talk to the parents and find out what they need and what's stressing them out and how you might be able to support them, even if it's not financially.
I do love that. I think a parents' employee resource group could be so helpful because a lot of times parents want community in the workplace, and then you can find out through that community what it is they need to be successful. So right. I love the step of if you're wondering about how to support your parents, ask them, like Kim said, but also give them an opportunity to find community with each other.
Yeah.
Because that's something I think we forget that before the pandemic, connection was much easier. And now it's kind of hard. And if you could create a space for your parents your working parents and working caregivers, a space for them to find support from each other, and then also bring to you, the HR person, what they need to be successful, I think then the buy-in is already there. You have advocates already that want the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's plenty of resources out there for models for employee resource groups and ways to support folks in terms of using them as a place to gather intel about what you can be doing better. Using them as a focus group, basically. And I will say also, if you can, pay your ERG leaders to do
Please
the
do.
work
That's
that they're
definitely, doing. That's the minimum. Please pay them. Okay. I've had a blast today chatting with you, Kim. I love all the things you make me think about. And I just feel like I leave our conversations with the ability to be more empathetic to what other people are experiencing in the workplace. So I'm just so thankful that you were able to join me today.